And in fact, actually this year, a blind person did independently drive a motor vehicle at the Daytona Speedway on the 29th of January 2011. But we'll save that for another time. The point really is that blindness isn't the handicap, it's perception. How often is that true in so many things that we deal with in our lives? It's all about perception. When I was asked to be the regional sales manager at the World Trade Center for a computer company, Quantum Corporation, I took the job very seriously. My first responsibility was to open the office, and that was to secure the building, facilities, and so on that we needed. Go through all the negotiations, do all those things that a body needs to do, which was all done, and on August 1st, 2000, we opened our office. I hired people to staff the facility, but I also knew as the manager that I needed to lead those people in whatever we did. That meant, for example, going on sales calls with my staff, doing PowerPoint presentations. Blind people can do that. And what's really fun about a blind person doing a PowerPoint show, we never have to turn and look at the screen. We can continue to stare at it. I've actually had people on a number of occasions come up to me after a PowerPoint show and say, you know, we didn't dare fall asleep because we forgot that you were blind. You kept looking at us and you never looked at the screen. Because I could point over my shoulder having a braille script. You know, I don't need to look at the screen to see the script or whatever. And I could sit there and go off and do the show. And they said, we never did dare fall asleep because we thought you kept looking at us. And I said, you were right. But more important than me looking at you was that no matter what you thought about the dog, she was looking at you and taking notes. And we'll get you later. The dog at the time was Roselle, my 5th guide dog. Roselle and I worked together from November of 1999 through March of 2007. And then she retired. And if there is a hero in my life, it clearly is Roselle. We'll get to that. For me, the preparedness for 9/11 came because as I thought about what I needed to do for my staff, I constantly thought about what would we do if there was an emergency. I didn't think about it every moment of every day, but it was something that was constantly on my mind. And so as a result, I participated in all the fire drills and all the emergency preparedness courses of the Port Authority and the World Trade Center. I thought strategically about how would I get out of the office? Where were the stairwells? How would I get to them? Of course, there were other things. What to do in an emergency? Did we need to have a first aid kit? Of course we did. Did we need to have other things to deal with other kinds of emergencies that might occur? Of course we did. And I made sure that we had an office that was well stocked with what we needed. But mostly, what we needed to stock in our office was knowledge. So I learned how to get out of the building. I learned how to walk around the World Trade Center. I spent days traveling around the World Trade Center and surrounding areas, but mostly in the World Trade Center, working eventually to try to get lost so that I could figure out how to find out where I was in order to be able to go anywhere I needed to go. I didn't have the luxury of the signs that all you light-dependent people get to have that tell you where things are. So again, that's great to have all those signs, unless it's dark. I love to be on aircraft listening to the flight attendants tell the stories about how if there's an emergency, the emergency lighting system will direct you to where you can get out of the airplane through the emergency exits. Yeah, right. If it's smoking in the cabin, you may not be able to see the emergency lighting system.